Hello, thank you for being here. As I promised, this is the new video following my return. Today we're going to be looking at the ProVolver from ProTube. I am super excited for it. I've been waiting for it. They sent me the mag tube and the ForceTube previously, and I had said that it was amazing. I had said that it really added to the immersiveness of games like Onward and Contractors. And I expected that the ProVolver was going to do the same thing for games like Half-Life Alyx and Pistol Whip, Population 1. And it does. We're going to get into all of it. You're watching Bringhurst VR.
Little by little you take control. It's a little uncivil how your game's in motion. And I don't even notice that I'm playing your game. Till you leave me a warning thinking I'm the one to.
Okay, so before I dig into this, you should know there's going to be a lot of information down in the description, a lot of links. We're going to go over a lot of stuff regarding this unit. But let's begin by how this thing works. How does it connect to the Quest 3, the Quest 2, the Quest Pro, and your PC? Because it works natively with all of those things. First off, you got to turn this guy on. There's a little button down.
That's what she said.
There's a little button down there, just like that. It's similar to what you have with the ForceTube. Again, that same button right there. And it connects simply with Bluetooth. There is a companion app on the PC that you can use to modify the settings, backwards compatibility. You can tweak the sensitivity, the oomph that you get when you pull the trigger, stuff like that. But that app is not necessary for the thing to work. So if you're on a Quest 3, for instance, and you want to connect this device, you just go to Bluetooth, hit the button, it goes into pairing mode, and it connects. Yeah, it's pretty simple. One thing that you need to know that Reddit is almost built solely to answer this question alone. Why does it connect and then disconnect right after? And what's happening there is it connects once and then it's in this standby mode so that it's not going to show as connected. In fact, when you turn it on, you'll see that light's blinking. That means it's connecting, or it's kind of in standby. And it will do that until it recognizes a native game that supports it. As soon as you're in a game, that light will go solid and you're done. It works, you're in. They have a list of supported games on their website that shows this works natively, this works with a mod, but it is not entirely up to date. I've got a spreadsheet with all the games, and it goes into detail discussing what are the hiccups, what is strong about this game, what is the problem with this game, what game needs a mod, what game has since been removed but hasn't been updated on their website. I'm going to link that in the description, so be sure to check that out. Now let's talk about how this thing connects. You can see it's got these loops and kind of grooves, and it's a place for you to put your finger so you can access the trigger. This grip right here has got a little notch, I guess, and you're gonna take this and stick it in that right there. And it's the controller itself that holds it in there. Once you slide that controller in, it stays. I have no idea why you would want to remove this. I don't understand why that's not permanently there. So the smart among us are probably going to glue that down just so it's permanently there. I expect I'll be doing that down the line. But for now, I've got it in that groove right there. I slide in the controller and it's in, it's holding that, it's not going anywhere. And then you'll notice there's this doohickey right here. It's not dissimilar from what you'd find on a weapon, a gun, to attach to a rail for a sight. And likewise, on the unit itself, it's got a rail that you can attach to. You can take a hex wrench that they provide you. They provide 2 of them. The smaller one is going to be used for this, and you can tighten and loosen these screws. And that dictates, when you pop this down, how tight is that going to be? You want to adjust it so that when you attach it to the rail, it holds secure, but so that you can also put it on and take it off without much trouble. So I've got it set up pretty well right now. I open those up. I come at it from an angle, and it's on. Pull these down, and it's attached. Seems very secure. I like this method. I like how it attaches. That said, these wings here that you pull down, I mean, everything about this is 3D printed, but I have not had any issues with it so far. The only reason I know it's 3D printed is because of the print lines that you can see right here. Otherwise, it's well built, but these wings right here that you pull down, they do feel a little bit cheap. They feel like they're gonna break one day. I hope that doesn't happen. I have no reason to think that's gonna happen. That's just how it feels. But everything about this otherwise feels solid. Now, once this thing is attached, you cannot take the controller out because it hits that right there. It's in there. It's done. It's stuck. But again, if you need to take this off, it's as simple as popping that up, popping the other one up, and it's off. Come at it from an angle, push down, and it's on. It's pretty fast. I've had no issues with tracking. It doesn't seem to be covering any of the lights, you know, that are necessary to track in your room. And the handle of this has that magnet on the bottom. And that is so that if you're using the ForceTube, the mag tube, you can attach it, play both at the same time. You can connect both of these to your PC or your Quest 3 standalone at the same time. If you want to reload and got a pistol, you can drop this and you've still got the force feedback. So it's pretty cool that they take all that into account. And likewise, the left controller they provide has the same thing, magnets, so that you can attach it like so. Now, the ProVolver goes for 329 euros. I'll put that conversion right here. And that's compared to the ForceTube, which is 375 euros. Again, that conversion right here. But something that they sent me that does not come with just the ProVolver all by itself, this doohickey right here. It goes for 47 euros on their site. Again, conversion right here. And the way that this works is it's pretty nifty. It simply attaches. We'll do it. We'll do it. You just put it on there like so, and it's on. So I kind of wish that it had the clamp like the back end. You know, it kind of sucks. You got to carry this around if you ever want to take it off. I wish it just clamped on, but what did that take me? Like 15 seconds. It's not the end of the world. But now that it's on there, I have got a gun and a gun. You know, it's a gun stock now, rather than just a single gun. I've used this on a few games now, and it works really well. I used it, contractors worked amazing with this. I used this, and then I used the ForceTube gun stock, and you know, they're different in their own ways. The benefits of the ForceTube are that, you know, the kick to the shoulder is cool. I like it a lot. But one of the other benefits that comes from having that is that when you've got it up against your shoulder, it relieves a lot of that weight. Whereas with this, you can't put it up against your shoulder. You hold it like this. It's like a shotgun. And for aiming, it works amazing. I had no issues at all. But it gets heavy after a while. Which brings us to the other thing. If you're using this and you're switching between a pistol and a shotgun and all manner of guns, it's cool that you can just remove it and then begin firing. But because you can't just take this off real quick, you have to have that wrench. It means that when you're walking around with a pistol and you're firing, it's already heavy. But with this on the front, it's borderline unusable. How are you going to use it? What use cases are you going to put it toward? That's going to be something that you're going to have to figure out on a game-by-game basis. So I've got that back off. Now we're just back to the gun. Some things to talk about regarding this. As far as comfort goes, because your finger is going through this loop right here, there's plenty of room to squeeze that trigger, but I can't lift it. I can't stretch it, and I feel confined. I feel stuck, and which means that, you know, every once in a while, take it out and kind of just stretch my hands a little bit. But, you know, that's what you get. That's what's required in order to pull something like this off. It has to connect that way. There's no other way you could have done it. As far as the weight goes, the thing is heavy. I'll put the weight right here, and it wears on you. playing Contractors and Onward, using the dual system, the gun stock, you know, it improves my aim, just like a normal gun stock does. And I enjoyed using it, but there is something to be said about the weight of something like that. So while you can use this with Contractors, considering most of the time you're going to be holding a two-handed rifle and not a pistol, I would continue to use the ForceTube. But in something like Half-Life Alyx, and this brings us to another thing altogether. Half-Life Alyx requires a mod. I'm going to show you how to do that near the end of this episode. A lot of these games require mods. It's easy. It's fast. It's not a big deal. But once you're in it, once you're playing Half-Life Alyx, this is where it shines. Especially, not that you have to, but accompanied by the B-Haptics tack suit and the arms, fully integrated, using that tack suit, the arms, and the ProVolver. I mean, the arms and the tack suit are amazing. They're cool. It's, you drop ammo down your back and you can feel it kind of slide down. It's cool. But adding this to that gives it another layer of immersion that feels real, and more so than the ForceTube. The ForceTube is amazing. It's got this sense of immersion to it. You know, it kicks your shoulder. But when you're in a game and you're firing, you know that if you pulled a trigger, like really, it would kick your ass. It would hit your shoulder. It might even hurt a little bit. And you don't get that with the ForceTube, which is fine. No one wants to get hurt inside of VR. But with this, because it's not translating to an impact on your shoulder, it's just something you feel in your hand, and it feels real, like you're really firing a pistol. And combine that with the arms, when you fire it, not only do you feel this, but it goes up your arm and smacks you in the chest, because that's what Half-Life Alyx does. That's what a lot of these games do when you're using the tack suit. It's not just a thing where you fire the gun and you feel a vibration. It's completely immersive in a way that just the controllers can't do. And before I get into other things about it, I want to nail that down. Feels like you're firing a real gun, and in Half-Life Alyx especially, it's just everything else. With the tack suit, with the arms, I'm not trying to go on about the tack suit. That's not what I'm here for. I'm here about the ProVolver. But the combination of everything can't be overstated. It's cool. But then that brings us to, you know, what's it really like? Prolonged play sessions. What's it like using the ProVolver? And I can tell you that, you know, I'm not going to keep repeating myself, but even without the front attachment for the gun stock, it's a heavy device, and prolonged use, it's a lot. It's not something that I would use for, you know, most games in prolonged sessions. I mean, with the addition of the ForceTube, it's fine because it's on there. Yeah, it's more weight, but with it up against your shoulder, it's not a problem at all. But by itself, inside Half-Life Alyx especially, because only in Half-Life Alyx are you constantly pointing up at those things on the ceiling. And you do that long enough, the up, down motion, and it is a lot. But there's no other way around it. It's heavy because there's a lot going on inside of it, and so it's a trade-off. Do you want to be fully immersed in the game, or do you want to, you know, be comfortable the whole time? That's going to be something that you have to decide. And for me, it's worth it. It's worth getting a little bit tired. It's worth feeling a little sore after a game session, because that means that in the moment, in that time frame where I'm playing Half-Life Alyx, I am fully immersed, and it's just worth it to me. Now, something like Pistol Whip, I tried that, and I can't do it. It's too heavy. It's too much up and down and up and down, and it's a lot. It's cool. It's cool having that force feedback, but it's too heavy for me. So before we get into a list of compatible games, again, not from their website, but from this spreadsheet I've got, which is frequently updated. I got that from the woman I'm in contact with over at the company. Let's launch the ProTube Companion App and kind of show you firsthand what this thing is doing. And using this app, we can come over here to demo. Sniper, P90, M16, PKM. But again, while I'm here, inside this app, advanced settings, you can change the rumble power, you can change the kick power, you can change how long the duration of the rumble is, you can do native game customization to where if a game isn't outright supported either natively or through a mod, you can kind of customize it and say kick, you know, under these conditions. Okay, I'm going to link this in the description. Through here, you can select filters, Steam VR, or Quest Standalone. But what you've got is a list of games. If there's a cross through it, it's because it no longer has support, which I didn't know was a thing. And then from here, it shows Steam VR or Quest, or if there's a mod required. And so if you're interested in playing something like Vertigo 2, for instance, it works via Steam VR natively. That's it. If you want to play Super Hot, it works Steam VR natively. That's it. But Sniper Elite VR works on both Steam VR and Quest. And then over here, it says Quest enabled in settings, control. If it doesn't connect, sit in game menu and take off headset, put it back on for some 5 minutes later, and it should connect. I haven't had to do anything like that, but it's cool that almost community notes kind of talking you through it. Not dissimilar from that site that's documenting all the games that do this and that regarding the Unreal Engine mod. And likewise, Half-Life Alyx right here, it shows mod required. Now let's talk about that mod. I'm not going to link directly to that mod in the description, but I will link to the parent source where it lists a lot of mods. Because not everyone here is going to be here for Half-Life Alyx. But it's pretty simple. Again, I'm going to link this in the description. But this is from Reddit, and it's under the ProTube VR thread. So they've got a list of, this is as of February 14th, 2024. They list After the Fall, Arizona Sunshine 1 and 2, Audica, Bone Lab, Boneworks, Compound, Crossfire Sierra Squad, Doom 3 Quest, Duck Season, Far Cry VR mod, Gazlers, Guardians Frontline, Half-Life Alyx, High on Life, Into the Radius, JKXR, Medal of Honor Above and Beyond, Metal Hellsinger, Pistol Whip, Resident Evil 7 Biohazard, Resident Evil Village, Super Hot VR, The Light Brigade, The Living Remain, The Walking Dead Saints and Sinners 2, Retribution, Vertigo Remastered, and Zombieland. That's a lot. And this will keep updating, and I'm sure this post, which was made initially a year ago, is clearly still being updated. So this is where you want to come for that. If you want Half-Life Alyx, you click it, takes you to GitHub, tells you what the requirements are, and then down here you've got the ProVolver.zip. You download that, then you're going to come to Program Files, Steam, Steam Apps, Common, find the app that you want. In this case, we're looking at Half-Life Alyx, and you just drop it right there. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to open the folder. You'll find ProVolver Half-Life Alyx. It's an app. You're going to open it, and you just click Start. Now, as this says right here, it's going to say, make sure you run the game with launch option condebug. That is something that I've already had written in, and I'll show you how to do that. When you're in Half-Life Alyx, click on Settings, and then Properties. You'll see right here, General, Launch Options, condebug. That's it. And that's going to be the same across every game you want to play. When you want to play Pistol Whip, you're going to drop the appropriate mod in the relevant folder every time. Yeah, it's a pretty simple process, but there's something to be said about this. I mean, if you are using the ProVolver, and never mind these other things, if you're, okay, let's do it. If you're using the ProVolver and you're using the tack suit with both the arms, and you want to play Half-Life Alyx, well, then you're in the situation where, fine, it only takes a couple of minutes, but you have to open up the app for the tack suit. You have to launch the mod app for the ProVolver. And you have to start the mod for the tack suit so it works in Alyx. You have to start the mod so the ProVolver works properly. And so you have got several apps running in the background for this one game. And it's not hard. It takes just like I said, a couple of minutes and you're in. But when you take into account that for the ProVolver, for instance, if you want to play 10 different games, if you have 10 different games installed on your PC via Steam, then you have got 10 different launch apps, all of them in their respective game folders. So it's not a small thing, it's not a hard thing, but there's a lot to it. I really like this. I am stoked. You could say that, I mean, for someone like me, buying it just for Half-Life Alyx. I'm sure there are other games that are gonna just blow my mind with it, but I'm still finding them. Half-Life Alyx is just infinitely replayable, and to have this kind of immersion, to have this kind of an experience where you're deep in it. I can't think of anything else I could add to it. If I added a treadmill, one of those 360 treadmills, I think it would only distract. It's not good enough. Those kinds of things, you're not really walking. You're kind of gliding and dragging your feet, or that one where you're sitting in a chair and you're kind of just sliding your feet back and forth. That's not going to be for me. I don't know who that's for, but that can't be immersive. It's just you putting on special shoes and kind of simulating walking just so that you're doing more with your body. But are you really there? Are you really experiencing it? You are with these. And I appreciate ProTube for sending it to me. And if you guys are interested, if you want this, link is in the description. All those links, that list of compatible games, all of it will be down below. I'm really glad you guys are here. Hit me up if I missed something. Maybe you have a question. If you do, hit me up in the comments, and I'll try to answer it for you. The only thing I will say, in retrospect, if you are attempting to connect Bluetooth on your PC, I have noticed, the first time I did this, I noticed, and other people have had this issue too, where it doesn't show up. You need to go into advanced settings under Bluetooth on your PC and just enable that, and it will show you more available devices to connect to, and you'll find the haptic device under there. Also, if you have the ProVolver and the ForceTube, they are both called ForceTube, but the serial number after it is different. So you'd think it'd be called ProVolver, but that's not what's happening. So keep that in mind. And again, any questions, hit me up. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. And thank you to my Patreon subscribers and my YouTube members. I cannot do it without you. You guys hit subscribe if this was helpful and if you want to see more stuff like this. And I'll be around. You guys have been watching Bringhurst VR.
Little by little, you take control.